Many storylines to cover for this Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. Could Oscar overtake Max? Would Lando storm through the field? Could Ferrari get a podium? How would Yuki do after crashing in practice?
And crashing in the race.
All that and the new set is here on America F1.
Yeah, America F1. America F1. It's a golden run. America F1.
What's up, Mike?
What's up?
You like this, huh? You like this? Look.
Not bad. It's the beginning of the beginning.
The beginning. We got to get something right here. But
Like a TV or something.
Well, I have a TV, but she wants it clear because my daughter wants it clear.
Well, she can put a thing over it, over the TV when she's working. Anyways, she could be over here and we could be over there. Is what we should do. Maybe
but
take
you see that
desk
big
out.
old desk?
Yeah, it looks kind of cool though.
Yeah, the TV works. TV's cool.
Anyways.
So give me your thoughts.
We're gonna start off with Mike was right.
About
what did we bet on last week?
I'm not gonna say. I'm not telling you. You tell me.
We bet $1 American. I predicted that Yuki Tsunoda, or Yuki or whatever his name is,
Yuki,
was going to crash, and he did it more than once. So, where's my dollar?
It was double or nothing.
It
was double or nothing. So I was ahead. So now we're even. But that really hurt. Not that you're right, but it really
not that you're right,
but that Yuki crashed twice. But the second one wasn't his fault.
It was his fault.
It was not his fault.
It was his fault. It was a rookie mistake. I told you that over and over again.
It wasn't.
He won't finish the season in that car. In fact, he won't be in Formula One. But I don't know. The Honda people gave him $20 million to Redbull.
Did you just say Yuki's not going to be in the seat?
I don't think he's going to be in the seat. I think they're going to get somebody else.
Bro, you tripping, bro.
He crashes one more time. He crashes in qualifying and then in the race.
Listen.
And go 3 corners in the race and then be out.
It was not Yuki's fault. It was Sainz's front tire to Yuki's back tire.
He didn't hit Sainz. He hit Gasly and he hit Gasly.
That's what I meant. Sorry. No, he didn't.
Well,
he was on the inside. I'll put a picture up here. It shows you where was he supposed to go. Where was the little Yuki supposed to go? Was he going to go into the wall? There's only a wall there. He's on the inside.
Sherman lives in Sherman, Denialville, and Denialville is like his favorite driver is Yuki Tsunoda.
He's not my favorite.
I have no idea.
Something.
What are you doing? Did you drop something? Where's your microphone?
I have one right here, but the other one, that's what I'm looking for.
Did it fall off?
I think it did.
Have you fallen and you can't get up?
I've fallen and I can't get up, but I'm going to get up and look for it. There it is. I sat on it.
Oh, that's right. I put a piece of tape on it because you broke it.
No, you broke it.
You broke it.
No, you did.
I didn't break anything.
You break things. You broke your bike.
The bike broke.
Oh, my God. So he rides his electric bike over here. On the way over here, he breaks it. No, it's his second bike. I mean, how many bikes do you need?
Broke on the way over here. It needs a new computer thingamajigger. Anyways.
You broke it, and now you're trying to blame the bike? Is that what you're doing?
Basically.
Is that where we're at right now?
Yeah.
Just like Yuki Tsunoda did not hit my guy, Pierre Gasly. He did not hit him. It was like a racing incident. If it wasn't a racing incident. It was not a racing incident. It was a rookie mistake. It was a racing incident.
You're supposed to be careful on the first lap. It's the first rule
of
racing.
They have so many. Oh my God, they have so many crashes on the first lap, Mike, because it's a first lap incident. That's why they call it a first lap incident, Mike. Did they assess Yuki a penalty? Yes or no?
He was still a second off Max's pace.
Did they assess Yuki a penalty? Just say yes or no.
No.
Okay. Did they assess Pierre Gasly a penalty?
No.
So what does that tell you?
That it was Yuki's fault.
No, it tells you it was a racing incident. That's
Redbull should have went out and got Sainz. He was the best free agent driver.
We've been over this.
They stuck Lawson in the car. I have no idea what they were thinking about.
How many times do we have to stop bringing up the same thing? Okay? When you bring up the same thing over and over, you know what that means?
What?
You got nothing to say.
I got nothing to say.
Yeah.
Okay, what's on the hit parade today?
That's what it means.
Now that we know Mike was right.
And it really pains me that you were right about that. When he crashed,
The first thing in your head was like,
crashed in practice, the first thing I said is, "Oh, damn."
No, that was in qualifying.
No,
that was qualifying.
He crashed in practice.
No, that was qualifying, wasn't it?
No, he made it. He was like ninth in qualifying, dude. He made it out. He made it.
And he was like a second behind his teammate.
So, first of all, it's Max. Everyone's.
I could have sworn he did that in quali, the quali 3. Anyways, what's the first thing that popped into your head when you saw that?
The first thing that popped into my head was, damn.
I gotta listen to Mike.
Now I gotta listen to him. I can see a text coming in 5, 4, 3. There it was, and I was like, oh fuck, I'm right.
What did I say? Your boy crashed.
You're like, your boy crashed. And I was like, I'm not answering this. I'm not gonna answer this. You know. And then in the race, because I hadn't watched the race yet, because it was Easter,
because you had to go to church.
And,
by the way, we didn't say long live the Pope. The Pope's dead.
And yes, the Pope died. And
the day after Easter. That's really ironic.
Easter. Yeah, that's. I mean, I guess if you're a Pope, if you don't die on Easter or on Christmas Day, the day after Easter or Christmas Day,
I guess that'd be bad.
Anyways, to go.
Anyway, so Mike was right. So when you watched the race,
all our fellow
did I call you and tell you that he crashed in the race too?
Dude, you did. And I was in church. I was so mad. So you called, and I was like, I haven't watched the race yet. And he was like, your boy crashed. And I was like,
he's like, I'm going to have to listen to this crap all day tomorrow.
Do I want to listen to the race? Do I want to watch the race? I was like, maybe I shouldn't watch the race now. Because if Yuki Bear's not in it, then what's the purpose?
Well, the race wasn't half bad except for Maxie got a 5-second penalty for not driving into Piastri, which is what he could have done.
Couldn't he just backed off and pulled in?
No, he did. I think he did the right thing, but still, I guess he gained an advantage. But I think Piastri was a little bit ahead of him going into that corner. I think that's why they gave it to him. But yeah, he was never going to make up that 5 seconds because Piastri, if you watch the first half of that race before the pit stop, when you knew he was going to lose the lead, Piastri was staying back just enough so he wasn't in his dirty air. Mm-hmm. And when it was his pit stop, he took over the lead, and it was it. And he drove another really good race for the McLaren driver. Lando, I think he's the driver of the day. He came from 10th and finished 4th. Almost finished on the podium. That would have been like a W for him.
Yeah. So we got a new segment, and we're going to call it Shoulda, Woulda, Coulda.
Oh, no.
Okay? So you can start first, or I can start first. So you can shoulda, woulda, coulda, excuses, only if, I could have been somebody. I could have been a contender, not a bum like I am, not a bum.
Only if Tsunoda didn't crash, he might have scored some points. Sorry, I can't help but tease Sherman about Tsunoda every chance I get.
I got something in my eye.
Did he score points in the last race?
He did.
How many?
2, I think.
2? Wow. Anyways, I'm not gonna talk any more lip about Tsunoda. That's enough. And Sherman's gonna cry now because his Yuki Bear is not doing. He's doing what everybody else does in his second seat at Red Bull.
It's not Yuki's fault.
Okay, what's woulda, shoulda, coulda for you?
Woulda, coulda, shoulda. Lando Norris, if he didn't have crashed, and
everybody, but I don't.
You know what they're saying? They're saying that he can't handle the pressure, and he's crashing at these certain times, and he's not. Because do you think he's faster than Piastri over one lap?
No, I think they're real close. I don't think there's a.
It's going to be track.
It's going to be a very close championship between those two, and Max is still there too. He came in second. Max is doing.
Here's my shoulda, woulda, coulda. Now that you did it, Max should have given the place back. And since Piastri only finished 2.3 seconds ahead of him to win the race.
Yeah, but Piastri
I know he was controlling the race.
He was controlling the race.
But shoulda gave the place back. He woulda maybe got a podium and maybe won the race if he would have gave the place back. Because then he could have just gave it back and he'd be right back and he'd be right under DRS in a lap or so. Except 5 seconds is a lot. And
it's a lot. Yeah, it's like 2.5 pit stops.
Yeah, so they took
it.
But
the team told him to put his head down and try to gap him out.
But my shoulda is that he should have just gave the place back.
Well,
that's my
actually, no. What they did, I think they did the right thing because being out in clean air is way better than being behind somebody. Because
but still 5 seconds. You're expecting Max to put a 5-second gap on the McLaren. He wasn't going to do that.
He had be going into his only pit stop because it was a 1 pit stop race, which is hella boring. He had like a 2+ second lead, right, going into the pits, so he could have theoretically caught him. But I don't think. No, once he got that 5-second penalty, he was done. He was done.
But
he still came in second. He still got all those points. He still drove a typical Max Verstappen great race. And Piastri's a great driver too.
Flawless.
Leclerc drove a great race, even though, wow, I don't know what's going on with Hamilton. It's like, okay, we'll get to him later.
We'll get to him later. Now, so that was my woulda, shoulda, coulda. Now, I wish I would have stayed in bed. Which driver is that?
And Stroll. He got in everybody's way yesterday. He got lapped and he got in people's way. Again, he does this crap all this time. It's like they tell them in the driver's meeting, when someone waves a blue flag at you, he's done this over and over, and he did it to Piastri, he did it to Max. He really held up Max for like a couple seconds. When he came out of his pit stop, he held him up for almost a half a lap.
Yeah, but he was still racing, and so he has the right to keep racing.
No. When they have a driver's meeting, they tell the people when you're getting lapped, get the hell out of the way. And he didn't get out of the way. He was in the way. He did it to both the leaders, and it was if you heard the announcers, especially Brundle, was like freaking out about like, what the hell are you doing?
You know, I'm tired of Brundle. Speaking of Brundle, I am so mad with him because, like, Lewis. All right, I'm getting into it now because this is what Lewis did, and Lewis, he didn't have the greatest of race. I mean, he started where he finished. He made up 1 place, but listen, if he doesn't hold Lando back for those 3 laps, Charles Leclerc doesn't make the podium. Because Lando was coming through the field.
Yeah, but Lando ran out of tires when he got to Leclerc, though. But you saw that. He got right there, and then it was like done.
But he passed Hamilton, and then he passed him in the wrong space.
And then he passed Russell, too.
And then Hamilton will wait for the DRS and pass him right back. And so that happened for 3 laps. So Lando would pass Hamilton, then Hamilton would repass him. He was ruining his tires doing that.
Well, I think Lando made a mistake. He shouldn't have passed him going into the last corner.
But he did it 3 times in a row. So that's race crap on Hamilton.
Well, no, but it's Ray. I mean, Hamilton's the one that like okay, take the place. Yeah. Knowing he would get him going back down the straight. So
I'm saying that, and no one else is saying this except me, because I'm going to be 1 for 1 since Yuki, did his thing. So no one else is saying this. Charles Leclerc doesn't make that podium if Lewis Hamilton doesn't hold Lando back for 3 laps. No way, because Lando was flying.
Yes, but he ran his tires off his car.
Exactly,
doing it, so.
Trying to get past Hamilton. And he got past everybody else really easy. He passed Russell, he passed Antonelli, he passed everybody without a problem. But Lewis, he had a problem. Houston, we have a problem.
But I don't know what's going on with Lewis. He doesn't like this car.
He does not like the car.
And somebody said something about his driving style. I'm like, everybody has the same driving style now. There's no driving style anymore.
Well, they have driving styles.
No, they don't. They all do the same thing now. Watch their hands on the steering wheel. They have to because of the tires.
I mean, we're talking about driving style as far as braking, cornering. So
just the hands on the steering wheel. If you watch that, that's what I'm talking about driving style. I'm not talking about braking or anything. I'm talking about turning the car. You can't do this at all with these. It's a very specific driving style nowadays. If you go back to the 2000s, watch Fernando. He was sawing on the wheel.
Well, you said that last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you don't watch anybody other than Fernando?
No, I watch them all.
You're in love with Fernando. You know, that's another thing that I'm going to bring up.
Uh-oh.
Why is everybody, and I'm talking to you people, all you people out there in La La Land and Twitter land and Facebook land and Instagram land and TikTok land and in Reddit land, wherever. You're all getting on Lewis saying he should retire, that he's too old. But listen. But wait, you got Fernando out there who's 105 years old, and no one's saying you're washed. No one's asking Fernando to retire. So why are you always hating on Lewis? I mean, I have no idea why.
They're not hating on Lewis. Lewis is not old. Lewis is just having a hard time with the car. He said it yesterday in his interview. He's like, I finished, what did he finish, 6th or 7th?
7th.
Yeah, and he's like, my teammate finished 3rd. It's a 3rd place car, and I finished, he was 30-something seconds off of Leclerc's time, and he's like, you can see it in his whole demeanor. He's like, I got work to do.
Yeah, he has work to do, but it's still, somebody on Twitter had a good point. Lewis probably could tell you every vibration of the Mercedes. He probably could close his eyes, sit in the seat, and know exactly what RPM the car's running at right then. He knows every bump. He knows every nuance of that car. And then you take him out of that car and you put him in a totally different car, and you expect him to all of a sudden in 4 races to be up to speed.
He already won a sprint race. It's just it's going to take him a minute. He's like, he thought he was going to jump in the car and beat Leclerc, which no, he was
Leclerc's probably one of the better. I'd say top 2. Him and Max are the best, I think, over one.
Him, Max, and Lando, and now Piastri.
And then, of course, Gorgeous George is always there.
Well, George is like
always there.
He's always there. He always has great racecraft. He doesn't make mistakes. He doesn't crash into other people or
at least this year,
or hit the wall in qualifying or practice. And anyways, he's the least. Max is the most hated driver, and I think Russell is the second most hated driver. And I have no idea why.
Well, I think a lot of people don't like Lewis too, because you don't like.
Well, he's black.
Yeah,
that's gonna. I mean,
he's the only black guy.
Well, but he was the only black guy for about 3 seconds, and then everyone's like, "Damn, we got to beat the black guy too. This sucks." God. I remember when he came in, because you knew he was going to be good, because he dominated GP2 and it was called GP2 at the time, and just you could see his racecraft and the way he drove a car, because the idiots in GP2 are now Formula 2. Most of those kids are just a bunch of rich kids, and they're just wild. You see them wobbling. I don't even watch those races because they're so bad.
Well, the one over the weekend was pretty, because I want to see that Lindblad guy you keep talking about.
Who?
Lindblad, the guy from Red Bull, who's the junior.
Is he?
Who eventually going to be, he's 17, he's eventually going to make it to Red Bull or Racing Bulls.
So you mean next year he'll be in the car instead of Lawson, right?
Lawson looks bad, dude.
Yeah.
He had actually decent race. He was right behind Hajar. And I also like, I didn't get to, you said, what did we, I wish I would have stayed in bed. And you said Lance Stroll. And I want to say Fernando Alonso was not happy. So I'm going to say that he wished he stayed in bed.
The Aston Martin is last year's car. They haven't put any updates to that car. It's like, they're not even. They're working on next year's car. This is a wash year. Watch out for next year, because remember, they're gonna have the Honda in that car. They're gonna have an Adrian Newey car that's gonna dominate next year. So
I felt bad for Fernando, because it looked like he was sliding all around. He had no grip, and he just wasn't happy. And it looked like he should have stayed in bed.
And the same thing with Lance Stroll, should have stayed in bed.
So both the Aston Martin guys should have just not even shown up.
The thing about Fernando is you have to understand he never quits no matter what. You might hear him bitching about things on the radio, but that dude never quit. He never quits. And he still drives like he's 20 years old. So it's like he hasn't lost anything. The only thing about Father Time is your eyes.
And don't you think your qualifying goes away?
No.
Your racecraft will still stay the same, I think. Like in the race, like look at Lewis. It looks like he's lost a little out of qualifying.
I don't think so. I just think he got out-qualified by Russell last year because Russell took a crappy car and could drive a crappy car a little better than Lewis could. And that happened to Jenson Button 20 years ago when he was on the Benetton team.
Okay.
And he just got out-qualified by Fisichella and just a car that was a dog. So, but when you put him in a good car, he won the championship. So, I think Piastri is right now, he's the leader, but he could crash out of a couple races, and Lando, all he has to do is just remember this. What would we? 3 or 4 races into this?
Yeah, 4 races in. Yeah.
And how many races are there this year?
24. The long season.
I'm like, it's like who knows who's going to win? Who knows what's going to happen with the cars? Every year, they bring an update, and you never know. The Red Bull might come on to song. The Red Bull is a lot better in this race than it was in
the Red Bull looked great
in Bahrain.
I mean,
not
of course
Bahrain.
It's Max, but he looked. I mean, that car was not only was it fast, the cornering and he was just.
I think that
wow.
I think the problem with the Red Bull is it doesn't have a lot of downforce, and that track is not a downforce track. It's a high-speed circuit.
You know, Yuki said, I know you, my guy, he said something very interesting. He said that the thing about the Red Bull car is it's very fickle. He's like, Q1, it's great. Q2, it's great. Q3, all of a sudden, something's wrong with it. You know,
well, that's because they're turning. They're at as qualifying goes on. They're still working on the car and they're turning the engine up each time. Everyone's saving their stuff for Q3.
Mm-hmm.
No one's turning the wick up until the last set of tires goes on the car. Because how come every time we have a qualifying session, the last stint is the one where they go the fastest?
Well, because the track also has evolution. It gets
it has nothing to do with the evolution of the track. It has.
Why they always say that then? Why they always say
that's fucking? It's nonsense. It's the turning the engine all the way up on the last stint.
You don't think that the rubber is going down and the track gets better and more grippier
after 2 days
goes on?
After 2 days of practice, the track is rubbered in unless it rains.
All right.
That's the only thing, because when it rains, it washes all the rubber off the track. Now the rubber, and when they say it's rubbered in, the rubber from the actual tires sticks to the track and it heats up. And when you bring a brand new set of tires on top of it, that's what we call grip. And the only way to know about it is to get a new set of tires. It's like because the cars are really good, even karts are really good, but you put a new set of tires on and it's like ambrosia. It's like there's no experience. Unless you've done it before, you have no idea. And I've said this.
Hey, I've done it.
No, you spun a lot. But I
did it.
You didn't get a new set of tires and put them on, though.
No, they did put a new set of tires because, remember, one of them, I think something was wrong with the wheel and he had to take everything kind of like apart.
He didn't put a new set of tires on that car. No way.
He did?
No. It's like $300 for a new set of tires.
That's probably why I was spitting out.
That or you, what's this thing called? You went past the limit? But now you know where the limit's at.
What did we learn from the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, Mike?
That I hate the Saudi track. It's so bad. It's so dangerous. It's so fast. And it's boring. And there's nowhere. It's not. It's just
the cars are too big.
Oh, the cars are way. We know why the cars are big because Ross Braun was in charge of the technical, so he could get back at Mercedes. I love when I figured that out. I was thinking about it one day. I'm like, why are these cars so bad? Oh, wait a minute. He did this on purpose because he knew Adrian Newey would come up with the best mousetrap, and he did.
And he did. And he got back at Mercedes.
Yep.
Now, what do you looking forward to Miami? What's your prediction?
Oh, God, another hoopty track. It's
like,
why don't they just build a real racetrack?
I do not like that track.
What is Formula One poor or something? I mean, they make $1 billion a year. 400 million people watch every race. It's just ridiculous. Build a track, a real track. There is a real track in Golden Gate Park. You heard it here first. We got to go do that. We got to go do the Golden Gate Park.
To see what it would look like.
I have it. I have it all figured out. And then you have the band shell there in front of the museums, in front of the De Young and the California Science.
Yeah,
that'd be the podium.
Huh. We'll have to map it out and we'll do a show on it. That'd be
I already did it like 25 or 6 years ago when they were talking about bringing a race here.
Because it's wide enough.
Dude, it's perfect.
It's totally wide enough.
And you know where the baseball diamonds are?
Yeah.
You know when you turn off a whatchamacallit what is that street?
What was that 8th or 9th Avenue?
8th or 9th, and it does the corkscrew?
Yeah.
That'd be dope.
Yeah, but see, then they would actually have to put money into infrastructure.
Oh, really?
Like they'd have to repave it.
They'd have to repave it, but the asphalt's cheap. Considering they're going to bring how much money in hotel bills, restaurant bills. We have something like 50,000 hotel rooms here, so...
Is Lando Norris too hard on himself? Because every time he either crashes or does something like stupid, it seems like the world has ended for the kid. Like he's really self-deprecating. And this is one thing I want to say. Lewis Hamilton and Lando Norris were so hard on themselves this weekend, and Lando's always hard on himself, that I think if you, as an athlete, if you keep being negative and bringing negative thoughts onto you, it's almost self-fulfilling. That if you keep saying you suck, I suck, I gotta get better, then all of a sudden you do start to suck. Instead of just saying, I gotta do better, I'm gonna just give it my all, I'm gonna, I'm gonna come back stronger.
I don't remember Lando ever crashing in qualifying.
Yeah, I remember it.
When?
Last year.
Where?
I don't know where, but he did last year.
Once?
Twice. 3 times a lady.
No, Sherman, just please cut that out.
And I love you.
Okay, what are our predictions for the Miami heat race?
There's usually, I'm not a fan of that track. It seems like a good party, like obviously because it's Miami, but as far as a track,
it's way the hell out in the middle of nowhere too, because it's where the Dolphins play, and
they go through the parking lot.
It's way north of Miami, so it's like it takes you about 45 minutes, I think, to get there from Miami Beach, is where you would stay.
Right.
And then they used to have the Orange Bowl. They put the new baseball stadium there that no one goes to. Mm-hmm. But I still can't figure out why, if they're going to have a Miami Grand Prix, why aren't they in the city? If they're going to have a stupid street race,
right? They're
going to have it in a freaking parking lot at a football stadium is so stupid. But they're making money, so it's going to be there.
I'm going to go with, Oscar's already equaled Lando Norris's career wins. They're equal already, even though Lando's been in Formula One
longer,
2-3 times as long.
Yeah,
well, of course he had a hoopty car.
He had a hoopty car for a minute, and then when he
had a chance,
Daniel Ricciardo got to win the Italian Grand Prix, and Lando had to come in second. Yeah. And then the race at Sochi when he was ahead, and he didn't pit, lost the race. So I mean, I don't know if he's hard on himself. I don't know, but remember, winning the championship is all about consistency, and he salvaged points. He went from 10th to 4th. That's a
damage control.
And just remember the 2021 championship. How many points did Max win by? 1.
And Lewis had to win the last
it's
4
like
races for that to happen.
What race was it recently that Denny Hamlin won? He led 1 lap.
That's all it takes.
He led the last lap, and that's all that mattered.
And you heard it here first. So my prediction is Oscar Piastri back-to-back, or will Max come back and take this one? Or is Lando saying...
I don't think the Red Bull is going to be good at this next track.
So is it between Oscar and Lando?
I think so.
Will the Ferraris get in there, or will Mercedes, George Russell, win this race?
I don't know, but it's like still like Max is still Max. It's just he doesn't have... I don't know what's up with that Red Bull car. I have no idea why they changed it last year. It makes no sense.
That's all right. It looked good in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, because it doesn't have for some reason that car doesn't have a lot of downforce as opposed to the McLaren, which have that trick with the.
Well, they had changed the ring. They showed that they had one wing for like practice 1, and then they put a whole different wing on for practice 2 to see which wing was better.
All right. Well, then they're bringing stuff and they're trying stuff, but they're still the best car right now. But it's not by much, though.
You don't think it's by much between them and Red Bull, right? But they're definitely, those two are definitely further up the field than Ferrari or Mercedes.
The Mercedes is, I don't know. Remember last year they said that the Mercedes was super temperamental and they didn't know why.
Right.
So they never really figured the car out. And I think they're having that problem this year. And then they have a rookie in the car too, Antonelli, and he's not going to be able to give too much feedback to anything.
But he's doing well. He's behind George again.
He can drive the car, but I'm talking about the technical part of the car. He doesn't know anything yet. Right. He hasn't been to all these tracks. He's never been to these.
That's what George Russell's there for.
Yeah.
Right?
But I don't know if it's gonna, because they're not. Okay, George Russell isn't gonna help him, but his team is gonna help him. So,
right.
They're gonna tell him, where you need to brake, where you need to do this, how you need to do it. It's pretty obvious. Most of the tracks they go to, he's been in the simulator so much. It's like he's gonna know the track, but he doesn't know the track because he's never driven on it before. You can drive on it in a simulator, and it's real close, but it's not the actual track. Right. So. But anyways, what's next?
Well, on that note, we got Miami Grand Prix coming up, and we'll probably do a preview show. I still have, it's not this weekend. We have a week off, and it's the week after. So it's not this weekend. It's next weekend.
Yeah, there's a week off, and then there's and then Monaco.
Well, it's Miami first.
Well, what's after Miami?
I think, isn't it Imola? It's Miami.
Oh, Imola, yeah,
Imola,
it's
Spain.
Miami, Imola, Monaco.
No, Miami, Imola, Spain.
Really?
Yeah, then Monaco. Because Monaco's like around the 24th of May or
the 26th.
Yeah, so there's Imola and
greatest day of the year. Indy 500, Monaco Grand Prix, Indy 500, Coke 600.
Yeah, that's a good day.
By 6 o'clock that night, I will be so sick of watching race cars go around the track.
And with that note, keep on racing, everybody.
Oh, we never
Ladies and
said
gentlemen,
anything about the new
can I please
studio.
have your attention? I've just been handed an urgent and horrifying news story. And I need all of you to stop what you're doing